So today we're joined by Landis and Jeremy Olaker. And so we just wanted to do a quick little interview with them because we received some really awesome details from them about how long they have been boondocking on their system. And we've had, you guys by far have like overdone anybody, I guess, as far as the boondocking goes. So you guys have done the most. So I think
setting the bar for the next group.
Yeah, the bar's really high now.
It is really high, you guys. So why don't you guys just go ahead and tell us a little bit about your family and then what your travel style is like.
So traveling with us is myself, Landis, and Jeremy, and then our 10-year-old daughter, Finley. We have an older child that's in college in Vermont, and then we have an older daughter that is back in Ohio. We've been full-time on the road since August of 2019. And we have a 28 Reflection 28BH. And our travel style is, because Jeremy still works full-time, and so we usually like travel on a Friday or Saturday and stay like a week or two at a time. We were like at the RV parks and campgrounds and reservations and all that. And we always wanted solar because I have control issues. Like, I don't like someone, I don't want to have to depend on somebody for their electricity and a camp spot. And so we always wanted to be able to do solar, but then like COVID hit and I'm like, okay, no, I just want to be able to go and be in the middle of nowhere. So that's what we've done. We got solar and we're in the middle of nowhere.
We cut the cord, added in the sunshine. So
yeah.
Now we're on our own.
Yeah, we've even gone even to where we have a composting toilet now. So we don't have to worry about like a black tank or sewage or anything like that. It frees up our water so we really can stay out for long periods of time. And now that we've got the solar figured out and have that sweet spot, we don't know that we'll return east of the Mississippi River. It's gorgeous out here. We finally made it out west.
Yes.
It's gorgeous. And so we've made it out west. We're in Utah. Had no idea. Like, it just is like you're on a different planet. It is so gorgeous though.
Kind of on that same page. So you were talking about you guys went composting, and I think you and I actually talked about this. Now, what do you guys do for water? Y'all, you said you just kind of stop along your way on your travels. Is that what you do?
Yeah. So usually, like, if we, for example, even the spot where we're at right now, it's like an exit off of 70. And so, but there's a gas station right there. And so the gas station actually has a dump station, but they have water. We were at, Dinosaur Monument, and
we went to the park in the middle of Dinosaur. They sent us there from the gas station, said park has water, you're welcome to hook into it. So
Dinosaur does not have a gas or a grocery store, but they have water.
There you go.
The one place in Colorado, they sent us to the fairgrounds.
Okay.
Fairgrounds were great. You could pull in, people were watering their horses and livestock. Good group of people. They don't mind.
So both those times are with our bladder.
We're with our bladder too in the back of our truck, so it's much easy. Easy to load it in there and easy to load it out. You're not fighting your RV into the fairgrounds. But we found out the fairgrounds are fair game. So
yeah, so we have a 60-pound bladder, 60-gallon bladder. So we will fill up the bladder. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we also we drink a lot. Like, we have a Berkey, and so we drink a lot. So we actually got a separate 5-gallon bucket, and that just is constantly going into the Berkey, so it's not coming out of the tank, out of the house. So
okay, gotcha. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you kind of already answered what your goal was, why you went with the solar system. So will you go ahead and tell us what your breakdown was? I think you said you had it as of since July 1st, and today is October 12th.
Yeah, so and math is not my strong suit, so I'm pretty sure these numbers are accurate. But the reason why I was a lawyer, so I didn't have to worry about numbers. So we got our system in May and then had to go like to the East Coast. But then, so July 1st, since July 1st, we have been at some sort of hookups, not even necessarily full hookups, but because like the last place we had a hookup was 30 amp in Iowa, which it rained all 5 days. And so it was, our solar was able to compensate during, since we had 30 amp, it was hot and that kind of thing. So that was the last time we were hooked up to anything. So since July 1st, we've actually been hooked up to some sort of service 23 days out of since July 1st, like during that time frame. So that means that we've boondocked or dry camped for 81 days. But the cool thing that I like is that for the last 32 solid days, we have boondocked and not needed a generator. Like, so the last time we needed, and we haven't, like, didn't need a generator. That's actually the last time we left Iowa 32 days ago. So that was the last time we had any kind of hookup, was the 30 amp. So since that time, we haven't needed a generator, and we've drive camped the whole entire time on BLM land.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your guys' favorite thing about your system?
I love the fact that you literally, well, it's good and bad. You don't know that if you were hooked up to power and you're just watching TV, you'd never know the power went out if the power went out. So it's awesome that there's a backup. I love that there's nothing for me to switch over. I don't have to turn anything on. It's just, it's there. If I want to watch TV, watch TV. If Landis wants to fire up the Instant Pot, fire up the Instant Pot, and the power is there. Probably the favorite thing is just, it's just easy. It's there. There's not a lot of, I mean, in your RV, you're constantly checking, your tank levels. You want to know what your battery, you don't have to do all that stuff. It's just there. There's no switch to flip. It's automated, and it's wonderful. No, I love the audit. I love that we love that it's automated. There's no great, and I love that, and I don't have my phone, but I love that everything's on the phone for an app. So it's very easy if you're sitting outside to look and see what your battery status is. You can see how much solar you're pulling in. I mean, it's part of the game, but I think it makes you comfortable, but not so comfortable that you completely forget it. But it's great to have all those little comforts to monitor your system.
And it just is nice to be able to go anywhere. Like, you can go anywhere. Like, we've taken our camper in some pretty places that we would, never have thought about going. And so it just is it just is amazing to be able to use a natural resource and to still live and function and to be able to turn that into energy. It just is amazing.
So what would you say that your least favorite thing about the system is?
Like, I don't think we have one now. I think at the time, we thought everything should run and at all times. And so it took us like a while to figure out, okay, if you're running this needs to be off, or this can go. And especially like with the fridge, like we totally thought we were supposed to do that. But then and then we're like, well, should we have gotten more panels? But then by the time you figure out all that, we're like, well, propane is fine. Not for what we need, because we're not our intention is to chase the weather. So we're not big into, we need to run both ACs. It should power that. Because I mean, we specifically talked to Mike. That wasn't our intention. Until you need to run both ACs and but now we're at that super sweet spot. We've got it figured out.
If there was a system thing that I would fix, and it's not installation and it's not equipment, it would be a way to, when I leave here, that I could then look on my phone and see what's going on. So I know maybe there's a network option. That's probably my least favorite thing, is that when I leave the campsite, I lose contact with the system. That'd be my least favorite.
Because you're out of the range.
Because we're out of the range of the Bluetooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially with
that's possible.
It is possible.
It's less than $500 for that piece of equipment.
Yeah.
You can get the one that only does the it's VRM. So like if you look at your app, you have the
Mhm.
stuff that's local and your Bluetooth, and then there's another tab
Right.
at the top that says VRM. So if you add a GX piece of equipment from Victron onto the system, then you can remotely monitor everything.
Oh,
You connect that
Okay.
part to your RV Wi-Fi, and then just
And the RV always has Wi-Fi though, right? So
yes.
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
when you leave,
That's
yeah.
correct.
So
That's a
yeah, you could
prerequisite.
totally do that then. It's not something that we like.
super advertise.
Yeah, we don't really advertise it a lot just because he's not really a sales guy. He just wants
Sure.
to have a system that works. But now then we have some people who have, they're like, hey, this is what I want to be able to do, and they're just like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we could do that. But like sometimes you just don't know what you want until you don't know you
have to
need it until you want it. You
have
know
to
what I
get
mean?
over the hump,
right,
get the
right.
system in, get everything ironed out to what's perfect for you guys,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
and then you say, okay, is there anything that you would like to be able to do? Anything you want to do differently? I've had people add a couple of batteries. I've had people basically double their system, another multi-plus, and then double the solar. But when you add the GX devices onto the system, I generally don't like to push those because it makes things act a little differently whenever everything's all said and done. You can't really go to the local stuff as much. You have to pretty much, if you want to see what's happening in the multi-plus, you always have to go to the VRM.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
It's a trade-off.
Well, I would say something else that I think for us too, getting over a hump was like the comparison game. Like that really had like that will steal you and your joy like that when it's you get it, especially like if you're on social media and other travelers like I have this many panels, why have that, I can run this all day long, like that really like you need to like remove yourself and really have a reality check and have your installer bring you back down to be like, remember why you're doing this. Like, like this is what we wanted. And that is what, and I think that was a pivotal moment for us, was to be like, okay, no, let's draw back to us and what we wanted in our system and what our goal was. And our system does that for us. And so drop the comparison.
The best social media thing to steer away from in the solar world, in my opinion, and I've left groups just because I don't want to read it anymore and I don't need to, is, well, my system runs the AC. Period. How long does it run the AC? What type of AC is it? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Do you have how many panels? Did you support it with the generator? Do you have a 15 amp?
Well, do you
got
have
to get away from that.
$20,000 in batteries?
That's right. Yes.
Right.
What's your battery bank? Oh, it's in
Right.
the bed of my pickup truck. There's 48 batteries up there. But you see that all the time. People are like, oh yeah, it runs the AC. Okay. I mean, I go turn mine on right now. It'll run the AC, but for how long is it going to run
Right.
that AC? But
Then can
that's
you
probably the
recover?
hard thing, is that comparison. What's
Yep.
that?
Can you recover? If you run your
Yes,
AC,
exactly.
can you recover?
Exactly.
Yeah. I
And-
woke up at 0, but it's okay. I ran the AC.
That was like our pivotal moment. Was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We told Mike we didn't care about the ACs because first off, we hate the ACs anyway. And they're so loud and obnoxious and just the artificial air. And so like it was never our intention was to get out west and to live off grid and not be a place we have to run the AC. And so it just was like when we were able to come past that meltdown point and come back to what we needed, why we needed it, and why we're doing what we're doing, and to let the whole what everybody else is doing and saying fall away and just come back to our bubble.
Sorry.
So, and we kind of talked about this a little bit. So, would you do any upgrades to your current system, or do you feel like you're satisfied with it?
I think we're good with it,
We are
right?
good.
I mean, I think, at the end of the day, who doesn't want one more panel, right? Who doesn't think, oh, if I had that extra panel, I could capture that extra little 25 minutes or maybe a game changer. I think, honestly, you have to mess with the system, like Landis was saying. You have to find that spot to where it works. What did you initially want? And, you know, man, all these days it's been, you know, I get excited when I walk over and push the refrigerator button to electric, and then I check my app and I'm still putting amps in the battery and running the refrigerator. It's fine. Well, you know, it's fine. I think, you know, I don't know. I think, you know, at the end of the day, you got to be happy with what you pick. You got to listen to your installer to say, here's what this system will do. And so, no, I don't think we want to do anymore, other than maybe this automated thing, or not automated, but this
VRM
network type thing. But
yeah.
Just because, and I think that plays more into if you're boondocking, like we're 6-7 miles back off the main freeway. And, you know, if you do go to the local national park that's 35-40 minutes away, it would really be nice just to say, okay, where's it at today? Or did the storm roll in? Or, you know, what's going on for you back there? But I just say this about our system. We bought an ice maker, and we can run the ice maker in the middle of the day in the sun with the refrigerator going. That's pretty cool. I got to be honest, sitting out here in the middle of nowhere and making ice. Like, yeah, it's not like you're out here living like riffraff. I mean, you can still have ice made. So, you know, I mean, yeah, it's a good system.
You gotta have that for your tea.
That's right. I drink tea every day.
For his sun tea.
For my sun tea. My solar tea.
Solar tea. There you go.
Gotta make solar tea every day.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything we would change about it now. No.
So do y'all feel like the investment was worth it? Like, would you do it if you had to do it over again? Would you?
Yes.
I think we used to have a budget of campgrounds and campsites, you know, and it would fluctuate with the way the wind blew, because you're like, oh, I got to go to such and such state park. And, you know, you can put that budget elsewhere. So I think, you know, is your return on investment, it's not been calculated out for us. But when you can open your door, I know you guys can't see, but when you go open your door and see the sun setting, you know, over mountains that you can't see from the RV park, it's priceless, to be honest. And my generator's not out here humming either. You know, no offense to generators, we will use our generator when need be, but man, to just have that quiet, you know, influx of power is it's kind of priceless, to be honest.
Yeah. So not even money wise, like the money we're not spending in an RV park, we're keeping that, but just, yeah, like where we are now, and to be able to do what we're doing, and to be able to show our daughter living this life, and like, you know, instead of reading about rock formations, let's go look at them and mow and arches and do that, you know, that's heck yeah. Yeah, we are definitely just so thankful that we have our solar system. And
I'm thankful I didn't put it in myself too.
Yes.
I researched it, but I watched Mike get in the basement, and I knew I wasn't getting in that basement. One, for two,
19 inches. This does not fit into 19 inches.
And for two, I probably would have had wires like hanging down the ladder rack, running under the frame and dragging on the road.
Zip tie.
Zip tie is man's best friend. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm thinking
the ladder rack is around.
It's around. Could have made it. I don't want to drill a hole in the roof, for goodness sake.
No,
just
man.
keep it on the outside.
Well, and you know, going back to the comparison thing, like the difference is like, so the comparison thing has always been, you know, like the bird chested sometimes, where the people like open up their bays and like, look at all of the equipment and all that kind of stuff, and we're kind of like, we have extra storage and still have all of that.
I have to say, my favorite thing was I spent, before you guys came, a solid day cleaning out the front bay under the hitch.
Donated so much stuff to,
and it's all clean. I even wiped it down. And then you guys show up, and Mike's like, oh, yeah, it's not going in there.
I don't do it that way.
I don't do it that way. What do you mean it's not going? Oh no, we're putting it. And, you know, I got all this extra space, and I still got a clean bay in the front. So I mean, it worked out wonderful. You know, that's where I'd have piled all that junk up there in the front and said, you know, look here.
So it's to get over that comparison thing too. Like, you know, you might pull up to your neighbor and they might have their basement door open and you see all the flashy stuff, and you know, we're just secretly like to ourselves like,
Yeah.
Ours
Well,
are
in
high.
fact,
Ours are
somebody
hidden.
asked us, like, can you show us your system? And I'm like, well,
No.
there's this little door. I can show you the Victron, but you have to take my word that the rest of it is magically hidden back here behind the curtain. So Oz doesn't come out very often, but you can see the Victron. So it's there.
There you go.
Yep.
That's actually pretty
Actually,
funny.
you could just whip out your phone and say, "Look, here's the video."
That's
yeah,
true.
Right. That's right. Look at you.
Yeah, let me forward your YouTube video.
No, I think it's great. I think, you know, we're very glad we went forward with it. You know, we tell people all the time it's really great that the install, and I've said this to you guys too. I think it was great that you guys set up the time up front initially and don't just send somebody here's how much it'll cost and here's plan A, B, and C. And you know, you actually took the time to say, do you want to run this? Do you want to run that? And although I may not have paid much attention to what I said, it was nice that you listened. It's good that you listened to me, because then it brought us back to reality.
Reminded us
It's
what
like,
we wanted.
Yeah, we did want that. Okay. But no, in all seriousness, I think that's really cool because, you know, I had mentioned, you know, looking and talking to people on social media, people just want to throw you a quote out there, and there's no work background. You don't know what you're getting for sure. You know, that's great up front. You know, I think that's a good thing.
Well, and the continued, like the personal relationship, you know, you're there to talk us off the ledge when we think, you know, when we've totally done something wrong, you know, like you are there to answer questions. Because you do more than just install it. Like you form a relationship, you become friends, you know, we eat dinner together, like
wipe our tears when we cry because we screwed it up. But
get your band-aids.
You know, yes, that is.
But in all seriousness, it just goes to show how faithful you are in your installation, the equipment you're using, because you do have the faith to come into, you know, our house, for lack of better terms, and that is the term, our house, and eat dinner with this. Or even if you sat outside, you know, and drink an iced tea with this or a solar tea, you know, you do have faith in yourself and in what you're doing to put that out there, you know, versus just rolling in somewhere and you drop the camper off and come back 3 days later and there you go, you know. So that personal touch is welcomed.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think the kids are beating on the window. Our time is up.
Oh, your time is up. Well, tell Finley
and don't
hello.
Forget it. It's fall.
Fall, y'all.
Decorate your pumpkins.
That's what you need to close with.
Right all day long.
She loves me
all day long.
And that's how we're wrapping it up.
Yes.
That'll be the end. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. You know, I appreciate you taking the time out. As always, I mean, we're always here. So, well, you know, if y'all need anything, let us know.
Yeah. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye, guys. It was good seeing you guys.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this interview, and we hope that you will check out our friends Landis and Jeremy and Finley on Instagram at Road Olakers. They have some amazing spots along their journey, and they have a great story to share. Stay tuned for outtakes.
Got a name.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Let me ask you, is the pumpkin too much?
Is what?
Is this pumpkin too much?
I can't see anything.
Turn the it's
Hold
not
on.
as funny then. Here, your camera. There. Start video.
Oh, there it is. See? Is that too much?
Oh, that's adorable.
How about this one?
It's going to be a real live video, guys.
Look out.
We're going to put the woot woot in there just so you know.
It needs to be in there.
Totally.
Hands on.
Oh, yeah. So today we're joined with, or by Landis and Jeremy. You say Olaker?
Olaker.
Olaker. Okay. Let's try it
from
again.
the South, you can say Olaker, and that's fine.
We respond to everything with a name like that.
Yeah.
You get close, we're good.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so today we're joined by Landis and Jeremy Olaker. Oh.
Really?
Because I've always said it that way.
Olaker. It's like the Lakers.
I know. I don't know what's
Oh, the Lakers, you're in the championship.
Do you wanna do this?
I mean, I can. I'm capable.
Clearly
You're
I'm
0
not.
for 2.
But the other downside of that is that if you don't know that you lost power and you're living like you know, like if it was a cloudy day and you're like, oh, you know, I shouldn't be running my Instant Pot today, but you didn't realize you lost power. Like, we just wish there was like some kind of a beep, you know, just for, you know. But though the great thing is you have no idea.
We have the beep when it gets really low, but then that's when we call the installer and be like, what did we do wrong?
Or what did you do wrong? Oh, wait a minute, it wasn't your fault. It was our fault.
It was us. We left the refrigerator on.
We left the refrigerator on too long.
Yeah, so. Well, for ours, he was working in a space about this big, so he just
in the rain.
So it was like
4 days.
In the cold.
And it was cold. In the mud.
Yes.
In the mud.
Yes.
With the tent anchored down with hand weights.
Tree. Was there a
Tree.
was it a tropical something that came through? Or was
Yes.
it
Yeah.
right before that?
I was like, I don't even remember.
There were so
We've
many
had
this
so much
year.
There was a storm in the Gulf, and then it came up through. It made its way all the way
Yep.
through
Yeah.
the country. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It rained.
So,
It rained.
the second
rain.
this,
Yeah.
you got the panels on, and then it started raining.
Yeah.